All right, the champ is here. Loved by many, hated by few, respected by all, second to none. I'll do that again. Loved by many, hated by few, respected by all, second to none. I want to send a shout out to all of those people who are listening to us on the Commission Nation Network, the real CNN, because we never leave your hood. That's right, the best radio podcast show from Como to the Congo. And now you know. Yep. Como to the Congo. Just left Fort Worth, Texas. Driving around Fort Worth, doing my thing, making sure the people in Fort Worth are up to date and on the square, because you know what? We need to do some things in Fort Worth that are totally different. And I am seeking help, if you will, and getting some things done in Fort Worth, Texas, and Tarrant County, Texas. This Tarrant County, Texas, I can see it right now, Tarrant County. I'm right here in Tarrant County right now, but I can see downtown Fort Worth from the lovely offices here at the Fishbowl Radio Network. And we have in Tarrant County we have the county judge in Tarrant County, runs things in Tarrant County. He is just out of control, just totally out of control, totally disrespectful to people that come down to express their opinion. Tim O'Hara, Terrible Tim is what I call him, the county judge, Terrible Tim. And what we need to do is make sure that we are constantly fighting against injustice. And where the West begins, that's Fort Worth, Funky Town, that's where the West begins, because, I can, see what's going on, and I can also smell what's going on. It don't smell right. It just doesn't smell right. We have the 14th largest city in the United States is in Fort Worth, Texas. A lot of people don't realize that. Talk about size. Size really does matter. Fort Worth, Texas is the 14th largest city in the United States. 13 cities are higher than them. But Fort Worth, Texas, Tarrant County, where Terrible Tim is running the county. He's running it into the ground, because we need to do something about all of those people who are dying in the Tarrant County jails. This is Tarrant County jails. The Tarrant County jails. The Tarrant County jails have the largest amount of people who are dying in county jails are in Fort Worth, Texas, and nobody gives a damn about it. And that's the reason why I was there. Just left visiting folks over in Tarrant County. Just drove past the jail. My cousin was a jailer, was one of the top jailers, one of the top officials of Tarrant County. God bless him, he's no longer with us. He's passed on. But you know what has not passed on is the amount of people that are dying in those jails. That's why I'm calling for the United Nations. I'm going to the top. I can't go to Austin. No, I can't go to Austin. I can't go to Austin because I know there won't be no justice in Austin. So I want to go with the United Nations, which has some semblance of justice, and ask for the United Nations to investigate, because we don't get no justice. We don't have any justice. We ain't got no justice. I want to talk in every possible syllabic term that I can call out right now and say that there's no justice in Fort Worth. So let's start getting some justice in Fort Worth. So I'm calling for somebody, hear me. I'm calling for somebody to hear my humble cry and run for county judge in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm asking for someone to run for judge in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm asking for someone to run for judge in Fort Worth, Texas. And you can come on my show and talk about what's going on in Fort Worth. Let's talk about it. But let's be more about talking about it. Let's be about it. So I'm pledging my name and my good fortune, or my good fortune and name, whichever way you want to call it, whichever you want to switch it. I want to raise money for you if you will run against Terrible Tim. We need to do that. We need to do that, because if we do that, we will save a lot more people than the people we have in the Tarrant County jail system. That's my call. I just left Tarrant County. And that's my call for justice in Tarrant County. As the president of the Dallas County Justice Initiative, that's the flyers that I have that I'll leave out here at Fishbowl. We just want to pump it up a little bit. I want to make sure that people are understanding what we are talking about. We are talking about a city. We are talking about a county in which people are totally disrespectful of the people, the citizens, the people, the citizens that uphold this, what I'm having right now, the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the United States, where we have freedom of speech, where people can go down to the courthouse and speak out, but yet they're thrown out. They're thrown out by the county judge. They're thrown out by the county judge. And I'm a little pissed off about it. I normally don't use those kind of words, but you catch me off air, I'll probably use a lot of other words stronger than that. But I want to go ahead and say that this is what we need to do. We need to be about this. 2026 is right around the corner. 2026, 32 days away. It's already began. The fight has already began. The fight has begun, and we must make a change. We must make a change. There are going to be a lot of other changes that's coming up. And what we want to be about it is also not only talk about it, but be about it. We need to talk about the amount of people who are homeless. We need to talk about the amount of people who are not getting their fair share of the benefits of being an American. Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody on Facebook, and man, wow, sometimes I don't even want to join my own political page. I want to just drop out. Ed Gray political page. That's a shameless plug for it. And we've had some people from Tarrant County to go forth, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure I send this to them so they get all fired up. I want them to get all fired up. They walk around in their cowboy hats and everything, and be so secure, talking about what America is about. But they don't realize this American that we live in, this America that we live in, is a project in the making. It can be a failed project, or it can be a successful project. And so far along the way, America has never been great. Sometimes it's been good. Sometimes it's been worse than good, but it's never been great. It's never been great. We strive to make it better. That's what we do. So I want to say that to those people who walk around hardy like in Fort Worth, Texas, walking around big like because they have decided to set a tone. And setting this tone is not a tone of making all of us better, but making some of us better than others, and others at this particular point are being placed down on the sides of society where they need to strive to be better. And that's the reason why I'm here, and that's the reason why this show is here as well. And I thank you for this first minute or so in which we can talk about Tarrant County. When we come back, we will go ahead and we will talk about some things on a nationwide level. So we're going to go through possibly four shows today. This is the first of the show. This show is dedicated to the people of Fort Worth, Texas. Fort Worth, Texas, in which I want them to make sure that they understand that we need to be about our business in Fort Worth, Texas, and decide beyond what we're going to do, but be about making this change. We have this opportunity in Fort Worth, Texas. We can turn this around. And this is not a situation of people being a red or a blue. This is about us upholding the Constitution of the United States, which is really true. It has amendments, which means that it's not a perfect piece of paper, but it is a paper that we all use to strive to make all of us good and better Americans. Thank you for listening to the Commish Radio Show, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Take care.